Hello, what we're doing here today is presenting a 3D reconstruction of the July 13th assassination attempt on former President Trump. So we have the grounds laid out here all in 3D. This is based on many sources, including Google Earth, Google Maps, and many drone shots from that day and before and after the rally. So I've stacked all of those images and models to get as precise as possible recreation three-dimensionally of the grounds and surrounding buildings to include all the sight lines to and from the president's vantage, sniper teams. So here's the stage where the president was standing. And approximately 130 yards away is the shooter located on this roof here. Here's what that sight line looks like. The red line here represents the first shot that the shooter took at the president, striking him in the ear. And appears to have also passed through the side of this individual in the back corner of this right stage. This round, I believe, also struck a hydraulic line on this lift, causing it to collapse down. I've got it illustrated here in the collapsed down position. But on video, you'll see hydraulic fluid shooting out all over behind that stage, and that's where that's coming from. I also have the shot represented in here that struck and killed Mr. Comperator. He was the single reported fatality from that day, other than the shooter himself, of course. In further reconstruction, I can add in the other shots. I don't have all of those lines verified exactly where those bullet impacts were. Once I do, I'll add those in a follow-up video. But this is the key shot that we're concerned with, one that nearly killed ex-President Trump. Now to the theory of a shooter on the water tower. So I've got this modeled in here so we can see what that line of sight would look like. And I can say pretty confidently that no shot was taken from the water tower. The curvature you're seeing is the bullet drop that's calculated in. But there is no line of sight from this water tower to former President Trump's position. So that is completely obscured by this jumbotron here. This is the screen that the president was referring to at the time that he was first shot, or the first shot was taken, and he was struck in the ear. So he was positioned a little bit more toward the crowd out here in the open field, but was twisting slightly toward this screen and then turned his head just as the shot was fired, which allowed him to escape being killed. If he hadn't turned his head, the round would have either entered his eye or temple, and unfortunately that would have been fatal. So it's extreme luck, chance that the round just passed through his ear because he slightly cocked his head forward toward the crowd, and as he tilted his head to his right to look at the screen. The shot count is 8 from the shooter, and according to body cam footage that has recently been released, the shooter had left 8 shell casings from his 5.56 or 223 AR-15 rifle on the rooftop, which would confirm that this is a single shooter because there is only a total, I believe, of 9 shots fired that day. 8 from the shooter, starting with a 3-round burst, and then a 5-round rapid succession follow-up. The first 3 rounds were not a burst, but he took the first shot, realized he missed, took 2 follow-up shots, a pause, and then a burst of rapid succession with 5 follow-up shots. So that's a total of 8. Also, the director of the FBI also confirmed that there were 8 shells. In fact, he said that there were at least 8 shells. Now, there are only 8 shells up there by the count we have from the body cam footage from the officer on the roof counting shells. Anyway, either way, that excludes any second shooter theory or even third shooter theory. And I think we can lay that to rest, as well as the water tower theory. The water tower is obstructed from view from the president, as we can see here in 3D. The ninth shot we hear is the counter sniper team taking out the shooter with one well-placed shot to the head. That counter sniper team, I don't have its exact location pinned down yet. There was a team on this roof, which is famous. Everyone's seen these two guys up here. But my understanding, from what sources I'm getting this information, is these are not the guys that took the kill shot. Their view is also slightly obstructed. So if we can line this up with the shooter, you'll see the shooter is on this roof here. And then this sniper team would have been looking through this tree. They may have been able to see him, but it doesn't sound like they're the ones that took the kill shot. There was also a counter sniper team, which I don't have illustrated, but on this roof right here, set up just like this team. And I have heard also that there possibly is another counter sniper team further out, possibly on a building to the south here. This is a house, residential house, I believe, but there's a building over here on these grounds, and there might have been a team set up over there as well. I don't know who took the shot. The shooter was approximately 130 yards. Looking at the footage from the body cam of the officer on the roof, it looks like this was an AR-15 with a probably red dot optic on it. So this is generally a short-range optic. It's not a scope, but you can definitely hit a target with relative ease at 130 yards. And I'll probably go out and recreate this on my shooting range in a follow-up video. If anybody would like to see that, I will match the elevations, and I will even try to match the wind from that day that was reported, though it's not going to be much of a factor here. Let's just go ahead and get rid of this one. We know that's not a factor. And again, from the sight line from the shooter, he's basically seeing. Now this boom truck I have is best located as I can. So he was either seeing directly over the boom or just under it. But I believe from what I can tell is it was about in this position here. Not really a factor. I don't see that any rounds impacted this. But again, I also don't have every single round traced to its impact point. As I collect more data and as I verify more data that's coming in, I will work to put that into a follow-up video. Let me know if you have any questions. Please comment below. Reach out. Let me know if you think I've got anything wrong in here, and we'll go forward. We want this all. I'm doing this in the interest of getting the most accurate information out there to debunk any kind of conspiracy theories that are popping off here and there. This is just strictly a data focused and data based reconstruction and investigation that we're doing here. So I hope this helps, and again, let me know if you have information that would clear up anything that's represented in this video, anything that I may have gotten wrong. And this is the data that I have verified as of 7/25.